What's going on, nation? We got a lot to talk about today. Let's get it. And up. Thank you guys for tuning in with the Real Raiders Talk. I am a exact Raider, and Natural Nate should be joining us soon here. Trying to get my Wi-Fi figured out here. It has not been the greatest lately, but still trying to come on and let's talk some Raiders football. We have a lot to dive in today. As we all know, the big thing that everybody was going to talk about is Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think we're going to be diving into. And so, real quick, before we get started here, if this is your first time joining Raiders Primos on the Real Raiders Talk, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, share the link around, share the love. I know a lot of fans want to get their opinions on this, so we'll love if you guys share the link around. We could all talk about Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders, and then some defensive moves that the Raiders made today. It is also, let's remember, it is the temping period. So, yes, these are deals that are coming out that are potentially will be official on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So the deals are not official yet, but these are, of course, deals that are likely going to be official come Wednesday. But we've seen the NFL, how it works. And during this tampering period where, deals are being made, but then come Wednesday, they're signing somewhere else. So shout out to people pulling up. 808, Jimmy Glass will play 6 game and off to the IR he goes, and to our 7th overall quarterback. Let's Jimmy G real quick. But first, real quick, guys, Brandon Facyson, former Las Vegas Raider, played in 20. He is being we all signed Mike Marcus Epps to a $12 million deal with $8 million guaranteed. Epps, who's 27, started all 20 games for Philadelphia last season, and now he cashes in. They also came in agreement with Brandon Facyson. The safety free agent class was strong. Epps was considered a mid-level player at his free agent class at the position. He had a solid season for the Eagles, and he was strong against the run. This is from Jeremy. Around 3:10 this afternoon, he heard earlier today that the Raiders and Jordan Poyer had mutual interest. Vegas gets Marcus Epps, who can start opposite of Trayvon Merrick. He will start probably alongside Trayvon Merrick, who struggled in his first season in Patrick Graham's defense after having a good rookie season. The team could also bring back Duron Harmon, who was a solid on a 1-year contract. Marcus Epps played 1,058 defensive snaps last season, the most by any Eagles player. 8 of the Phillies' top 9 players by total defensive snaps last season have either left or are current free agents or have received permission to seek a trade. Epps, 27, was drafted out of Wyoming by the Minnesota Vikings in the 6th round of the 2019 draft. He was cut later that year. He has been with the Eagles since. The 2022 season was his first as a full-time starter. He has 25 career starts. He has 3 career interceptions, and he had none in 2022. He had 94 tackles last season. Facyson will likely be a rotational cornerback, and he is making his second stint with the Raiders. The Las Vegas Brass let Facyson walk in free agency last year, but are bringing him back. He started 4 games for the Colts last season. He played in 12 games and started 9 for the Raiders in 2021. The only interception of his 5-season NFL career came with the Raiders against the Broncos. So really, guys, pretty much that is our defensive pickups right now. Real quick, I'm trying to see if Nate's going to be getting in here. Hopefully he comes in here, guys. But yeah, that is our defensive signing so far. Again, tampering period. Those are I want to say unofficial signings. Until Wednesday comes and it is actually official after the 1 p.m. Once the new year starts, those are our signings. Brandon Faison and Marcus Epps. Hopefully, we can get Jordan Poyer still. There is that mutual interest. I feel Marcus Epps can be maybe a depth piece, and you could bring in Jordan Poyer, who can come in and start right alongside Trayvon Merrick. But let's talk about the news that everybody wants to talk about. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has signed a 3-year, $67.5 million deal, including $34 million in guarantees with the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to his contract breakdown. Let me see if I can find it in Spot Track. Spot Track is likely going to have that most accurate numbers. Here it is. Yeah. Here is. It's not even. Hold on. It is not. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So okay. So he is getting in dead cap money. He is 33 dead cap for this year. In the following year is 18 million in dead cap, and then 3 million in 2025. His salary cap hit for this upcoming $1,300,000. The next is $28 million for the cap hit. Now let's give our opinions on the signing overall. That Raiders fan, Jimmy G is not the long-term answer at quarterback. I'm curious who will we draft at quarterback. And that Raiders fan, that is, I had to kind of digest it real quick. At first, I was like, man, this is exactly did not want to happen. Jimmy Garoppolo to come to the Raiders because he is injury prone. And I don't think he would be even an answer as a bridge quarterback. But the more that I started really doing, the homework and the stats behind Jimmy Garoppolo, how was he in his career? Let's look at it in his career. I want to go back to his days with the Patriots. In 2016, he had 1,560 yards passing. He had 502 yards passing, and then 4 no interceptions, 113.3 quarterback rate, 68.3 completion percentage. Remember, in 2016, I believe he started 3 games before getting injured, and that was what his stats in 2016. That was when Brady got suspended. In 2015, he only had 6 yards passing. I guarantee those coming in and garbage. In 2014, same deal, 102 yards with 1 touchdown. But for the times that he started with McDaniels in the 3 games being injured, he had 68.3 completion percentage, 502 yards passing with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, a quarterback rating of 118.3. The seasons after that, after he got traded then to the Niners, from then on, he's been nothing but really positive if we're looking at it. 67.4 completion percentage, 1,506 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. In his two full seasons with the 49ers, 2019 and 2020, in the seasons that he did not get injured, and I think in 2020 did two or 3 games, but in 2019 he has 69.1 completion percentage, 3,970 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, receptions, 102 quarterback rating. In 2021, these are his 2 best seasons, you guys. 68.3 completion percentage, 3,810 yards with 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 98.7 quarterback rating. I really do like this signing. I'm going to say it right now. At first, I did not like it. He's a bridge quarterback, you guys. He is a bridge quarterback. He is not coming in for the long-term answer. He is coming in to give McDaniels time to find that quarterback in the draft, whether it is this year's draft or it is next year's draft. But it is to give them time to find a quarterback that is going to be the long-term answer, not the short-term answer. 808 said, I heard Jimmy Glass has a 40 million guaranteed. And see if that is on Spot Track real quick. The only guaranteed I'm seeing is that 34 million guaranteed. Is he that he's getting? Oh no, total. Yeah, total guarantee. Yeah, total guarantee money is 45 million. You are right, 808. Total guaranteed money, $5 million. Guaranteed money at the signing was 33 million $750,000, but total guaranteed he is getting $45 million in guaranteed money. You are correct, 808. But that is if he and that's I think gonna hurt, right? Because he is injury prone. He has shown he cannot stay healthy. There's been the jokes that he cannot stay healthy. So that's really what worries me, if I'm being honest. We need to build our offensive line. We need to build the right tackle position. We need to build guard position. If we are going to make a chance at the playoffs next season, Jimmy Garoppolo needs to really be protected. I talked to fans, and really what went wrong between Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. They really told me what really went wrong is that offensive line of the Niners. That right side really struggled to really hold up their end of the bargain, which caused Jimmy Garoppolo to really take unnecessary hits, take a lot of hits, which then caused him to get injured. We've seen it with Trey Lance, and we've seen it with Brock Purdy. The right side of the Niners was not really great at times. As dominant as that team was and that offense was, the offensive line was really, really shaky at times, which caused for the quarterbacks to really take a lot of unnecessary hit. Shout out to Raider Scorpio. I like the signing. Don't sleep on Jimmy G. He has proven that he can win games. He was the best quarterback, and he comes cheap. So now Raiders can build a defense and the O-line. I know he had bad luck with injuries, but even with his injuries in his career, his winning career percentage is better than Carr, who's been healthy for 8 years. I agree. Yeah, I can't really argue against that. Raider Scorpio, he is. Now, here's where we have to have the question: is Jimmy Garoppolo a better quarterback than Derek Carr? I will say this: I feel like they are in the same boat, because Jimmy Garoppolo needed everything perfect for him to succeed. The Niners had a really great defense. They had really great weapons in the wide receiver game. They had dominant, they had Christian McCaffrey. Their running game was always up and down, but for the when they had Mostert in 2019, when they made the Super Bowl, that run attack was dangerous for the 49ers. So Jimmy Garoppolo had a lot of support. He didn't have to do a lot. And I think that's where Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo, they're kind of in the same boat. Derek Carr is a quarterback that if you build around him, Derek Carr doesn't have to do a lot, and he can win you a lot of football games like that. But if you do not build around him, meaning, like, I acknowledge how bad our defense was, and because our defense was really bad, Derek Carr couldn't really win a lot of games because he can't put up 30-plus points. He cannot put up 3 touchdowns a game. Jimmy Garoppolo can put up 3 touchdowns a game. But can he win in a shootout? That's really up for debate, considering that majority of his career, he's had a top 10, he's had a number 1 defense, really, for the majority, that's held opponents under 20, under 24. So he's really had to put up, he put up 30-plus points, but he's never, it's a blowout at that point. So I think that's where they're kind of equal. Now, here's what I will say, though. Jimmy Garoppolo is more accurate with the football than Derek Carr. Maybe not career-wise, but if we're going based off last season and maybe even seasons before, Jimmy Garoppolo is accurate with the football more than Derek Carr was. And I think that is going to play into Jimmy Garoppolo's advantage. All you have to do in the Josh McDaniels we kind of seen last year is you just got to get the ball to the playmakers, get the ball to Devontae Adams, get the ball to Hunter Renfrow, get the ball to Darren Waller, who was a sneaky wide receiver too. I really do believe we need another like a true wide receiver too, but I think we'll maybe 5. I think we can do that, and this offense is going to be another run attack heavy offense. I think Josh Jacobs is going here, but like I said, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have more of an upside in this offense, likely going to play way better in the red zone. I think let's look at that for a second. Jimmy Garoppolo, he is by far a better red zone. I'm going to pull up his red zone stats real quick, guys. He is by far better zone than Derek Carr is. Let's go to the 20. We'll go probably. I'll go to a full season, but we'll go 2022 also. Let's see. Jimmy Garoppolo was the 19th ranked quarterback when in the red zone. In the red zone, he was 26 for 43, 60.5 completion percentage, 183 yards with 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. He did take 4 sacks. He rushed 5 times, 6 yards, and has 2 rushing touchdowns. And this is last year, guys. I compared Derek Carr, who is the 20th ranked red zone quarterback last season. Derek Carr was 25 for 59 in the red zone, 42-point percentage, 175 yards with 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He took no sacks. He had 5 attempts, 12 yards rushing with no rushing touchdowns. Very, very similar, but I would say more efficient. Let's say, you got 11 touchdowns to the 24 touchdowns that Derek Carr has thrown. Of a deep ball passer, I think we know that in the red zone, it really slowed down. He doesn't turn over the ball, but does Jimmy Garoppolo either. He has 14 total touchdowns in the red zone. Let's go. Let me go to his full season back in. Let's go to 2021, where he did play a lot of games. Let me see. Jim ranked 16th, 2021. He had 30. He was 30 for 53, 56.6 percentage completion, 201 yards. He had 4 touchdowns with 1 interception, took 2 sacks. He had 3 attempts on the rushing game, 8 yards with 3. Let me see. Is that right? Let's go to 2019, which was the Super Bowl year. Let me see. Jimmy Garoppolo was ranked 17th. And had 48 for 74, 64.9 completion percentage. He has 16 touchdowns to 2 interceptions in the red zone. And he had 1 touchdown rushing in the red zone. So, I mean, what do you guys think about the red zone stats? I think I like those stats, but again, it's kind of the same with Derek Carr. Derek Carr kind of put up the same numbers in the red zone, but it stalled. And I'm hoping we don't see that this year. I'm hoping we don't see stalling in the red zone attack. Hold on, that is my laptop going off. Let me get in some more of these comments. Raiders score set, and with players who get injured, that's just a part of on any players. You're not wrong. That Raiders fan, only if the Raiders can build a dominant defense this offseason, it will be a blessing. And you're right, that's Raiders fans. I think that's what we to hope for. And I think that's why I'm not really as upset with the signing, is because there's still a lot of time in free agency, right? And we still have the draft. We have to see what is Ziegler going to do about this defense. Is he going to build a dominant defense? He has to build a dominant defense. You cannot go into the NFL regular season with Jimmy Garoppolo as your starting quarterback with a 28th ranked defense. Not going to happen. That is going to be another 5-12, maybe 11 season, maybe even worse. You're going to have a top pick, and that is even if you, McDaniels, are going to have that pick, because you likely will be if you have another losing season. If anything is like what happened last season, you're going to get called for your head. Mark Davis is probably going to fire you. Ziegler is going to be out with the job, and we're going to have to really start rebuilding. Raider Scorpio, free agency is always a risk. I get that, but this guy has a history of being year in and year out, and I think that is why a lot of people are not liking the signing. From a skill standpoint, like I said, I think he can perform. I think he can get the ball to Devontae, to Waller. He can put the ball where it is needed. But another thing, this is where he's kind of like Derek Carr. He locks on one receiver. That is another con to his game, is that he locks on a one receiver. And just like that Raiders fan says here, he get happy feet. When the play is not there, he does get happy feet. But I will say this, that Raiders fan, when he gets happy feet, he extends plays. I say Carr will go down and take the sack. Jimmy Garoppolo won't. Jimmy Garoppolo will try to avoid the rush and try to buy himself time to try to find a wide receiver open down the field. Now, does he get happy feet and maybe forces throws that are inadvertent throws, forcing into triple coverage, double coverage? Yes, that probably will happen. But there's also been, watching the tape of him in the Niner days, ended a lot of plays and bought himself a lot of time. The only thing that I looked back at last season, he played the Denver Broncos, and the Niners lost that game 11-10 against the Broncos, and in a season where Derek Carr swept the Broncos. So there's a tale of two halves when it comes to these quarterbacks. We're just gonna have to wait and see, guys. Like, that is really what it's gonna come down to. We're gonna have to wait and see what we're gonna come on live tomorrow. Really, do a more in-depth review on these signings. I just want to come on real quick, give my thoughts on it. I don't think Nate's gonna pull up anytime soon, so it's probably gonna be a short live, you guys. But with that being said, let's be patient. Let's be patient, you guys. Let's see what Ziegler Daniels. Let's see what more are they gonna bring to the Raiders. They need defensive help. They have Jordan Poyer in their sights. They still have James Bradbury. We're gonna dive into who is still available tomorrow morning, but we are gonna go live tomorrow just so we're coming on. A lot of people are probably upset about the Jimmy Garoppolo signing and not really tuning in. That's okay. But I just want to give our thoughts. We still want to come on and give our thoughts. We're gonna be on tomorrow. So please subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Share the link. Tomorrow we're gonna wake up early and we're gonna see what is gonna happen in day 2 of the tampering period. Last comment before we head out. 808. This will be another losing season for us. No way we beat Mahomes and the Chiefs with Jimmy G. This will be another 6-11 season. Just being real. 808. Like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see. We see, last season we're saying Derek Carr could take us to the, to the playoffs. Derek Carr, and it turned out to be a 6-11 season. We could say Jimmy G is gonna take us to losing season and Jimmy playoffs. Like, anything can happen any given Sunday. We still got to see the moves that Ziegler has or Ziegler's going to make when it draft and when it comes to free agency. I've said this even before yesterday. I said it when we were doing our mock drafts. I was telling Nate, like, yeah, we can do the mock drafts all we want, but we won't know until free agency idea of what the Raiders are doing. Raider Scorpio says, believe in the Rome wasn't built in 1 year. You're right, Raider Scorpio, and I think this is Ziegler's first full year. He is going to make this. We gotta be patient, you guys. And as the more days that go by, we ain't making any moves, then you're gonna see me come on here with a different tone. But for right now, guys, it is still early. It is only day 1 of the tampering period. It is not even officially free agency yet. It is only the tampering period. So let's, be patient. Let's kind of calm our nerves down. For real, Raider Scorpio, you're right. It could have been, we could have Mayfield, and that did not happen. I gotta agree with Raider Scorpio's comment earlier. Jimmy Garoppolo was the best option out there during today. I'm not gonna say free agency because it hasn't started, but during the tampering period, Jimmy Garoppolo was the best option for the Raiders. Now with Jarrett Stidham, with the Bulls, Aaron Rodgers, it looks like him and the Jets, they might figure something out that he's going to be a Jet. Tom Brady retiring. Jimmy Garoppolo was your best scenario, unfortunately, at this point in the tampering period. So, guys, let's just be patient, Anyway, thank you guys for pulling up. I know it's a short live today, but we're going to be live. We're going to be back tomorrow. So please hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Hit the like and spread the love around. We're gonna I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna talk to Nate more about what's the plan for tomorrow. We love you guys. We thank you guys for your support. It's always Raiders all day. We're gonna cheer Raiders no matter who is at quarterback. let's be patient, guys. That is going to be, the last thing that we're going to talk about on this Monday night. Be patient. Let's see what we're going to do tomorrow. And then let's see when officially the free agency starts. We're going to see what we actually do. And officially, when the signings become official. So with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. It is probably going to be in the morning, maybe like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, to see what time it is. So hit that bell so you guys can be posted when we're going to go live. We love y'all. You guys have a great rest of your night.